The next thing I have here is kind of comical, and we've covered this before, but it continues to grow legs. Ozzy Osbourne, the feud with Roger Waters and his ignorant comments that he made about Ozzy and Ozzy's fans back a couple, what, about maybe 3 months ago. Well, now Ozzy Osbourne merch store launches Roger Waters disc shirt for a limited time. This is covered on Loudwire, and the shirt is another prick in the wall tee. It's available for a limited time, and you could find it on Ozzy's UK web store. If you don't know and you haven't heard, Roger Waters, I mean, this was after Ozzy passed away. Roger Waters was throwing shade about, I think he said that he brought idiocy into the world. Like he just, no class, no class. So I think it's appropriate. If it's $41 for the shirt, I don't know if, but it's pretty. I think it's kind of comical. I mean, it's always Roger Waters definitely got a lot of attention for the wrong reasons. So you could read that article on Loudwire. There's more. There's definitely more to it. There's more substance in the article, but that's the basics of it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I will be ordering that shirt. I will be ordering that shirt. Absolutely. I have to have one of them. And I encourage all of our hooligans to first go to hooligannation.com and order yourself a Hooligan Nation sweatshirt or t-shirt.
I got to tell you, the material is really thick. I got my green one I like a lot.
Or a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Or a drink container. And after you do that, slide right over to Ozzy's website, and you should get yourself another prick in the wall.
Yeah, another prick in the wall.
Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt. And we should plaster the world with those t-shirts.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So that guy, and he's only that guy, but that guy remembers you don't get to just say whatever you want, whenever you want.
To me, the biggest part about that is, regardless of how you feel about somebody, the guy just passed away. It's so extremely disrespectful to his family, to who he was. And I think that Roger Waters would know that Ozzy was beloved by a lot of people in the same circles. He should have known better.
He should have known better, but I just think he doesn't care. I said this at the time.
Yeah.
I think these guys get a certain amount of money and they don't care what anybody thinks anymore, which I think is cool in one way, but I think the same rules of life should apply to rich celebrities that do to regular people. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
It's pretty damn basic, but it definitely applies.
It is.
Yep.
It is, and it's hard. And I don't know, maybe you won't agree with this, but it's harder now, especially for me, to bite my tongue because I have a platform to bite my tongue about certain things. But you kind of have a responsibility as a human being to do that, and it annoys the hell out of me when somebody like Roger Waters thinks, well, I don't have to do the same things that the rest of the world does.
And you know something? This is going to be kind of interesting, an interesting take. I am not standoffish. I don't elitist, none of that kind of stuff. I am that way towards people who feel like they're that way. I work retail. When people act entitled, that's when I snub them and I got nothing for them.
Every time something like this comes up, it makes me think back to the old Mike Tyson quote. Do you know what quote I'm talking about?
In the subject we're talking about, I should probably know it. Oh, everybody's until they get punched in the face, right?
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Very true.
Somebody should punch Roger Waters in the face, and then he'd learn some class and shut his mouth.
Yeah, I would think that's long overdue.
That is what's wrong. I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm not. Yes, I am. I am going to go on a rant because we had a very good conversation last week about technology. And we didn't get into this, and we're not going to go deep into this, but this is part of the problem with technology is we have what I like to call keyboard warriors. Well, Roger Waters, I would consider him a keyboard warrior because he's not out with the general public. So he thinks he can say whatever he wants. Somebody should punch him in his face so he knows he can't say whatever he wants. And I think that that's part of the technology and social media, and you can type whatever you want about whoever you want. I don't know whether we even discussed this in our review of the KISS cruise, but I'm gonna do it again anyway because I can. And if I don't like it, I'll edit it out.
Well, you know what? I kind of like where you're going. Keep it going.
The night that KISS played the electric set, and I can't remember what podcast it was. It might have been multiple, so I don't want to not give people credit. I know that Podcast Rock City live streamed, I think, the whole concert. And I think that Shout It Out Loudcast also live streamed the whole concert. Hey, great job by both podcasts. I was not holding my hand up for not 90 minutes and keeping it. I just wasn't doing that. And I'm watching the concert, but I have the live stream on my phone, and I'm glancing down like between songs. And what I'm really paying attention to was all the keyboard warriors that are not in the arena, but are watching this on YouTube or Facebook or whatever social media, because it was on multiple. I think it was on. I think I was watching it on Facebook. Paul should give it up. He can't sing. This is terrible. He sounds horrible. Now, we are sitting in the arena in person, and he didn't sound terrible. And look, before anybody calls me a fanboy, I'll beat him up. If he sounded like shit, I'll tell you. Last 4 or 5 times I saw KISS live before that, he was terrible, and he was using backing tracks.
Do you remember what I said to you before the show?
I
said to you, we're getting a chance to see KISS perform. If it's don't be disappointed if Paul's not, don't get disappointed. Let's just enjoy it. Because I didn't know what to expect. You had seen him more recently. I didn't know what to expect, and that was the one concern I had about the live set. Like the acoustic thing, they made it through, but the live thing, you got adrenaline and you're pushing out, and I was expecting to hear Paul have some rough moments. I mean, was his voice as powerful and as strong as it once was back in the day? No. But he sounded good. And there were moments he was very selective and very strategic about when he was going the extra mile.
Good for him.
But I thought he sounded great. I was not disappointed, and I was very surprised at how good he sounded.
I did too, but that's the part of technology that's bad, is that somebody puts out a live stream, which was 100% impossibility 10, 20 years ago, and you just, as a keyboard warrior, you use it as a platform to bash a guy. And I'm okay with bashing anyone and everyone, but your bashing has to be correct. It has to be authentic. It has to be the truth. When you're bashing Paul Stanley and saying that he can't sing anymore and he sounds terrible, and my ears are telling me he hasn't sounded that good in at least 15 years, I got a kind of got a problem with that. Same thing with Roger Waters. What do you call him? Idiocy?
Idiocy. He brought a bunch of idiocy into the world.
Look, did Ozzy do some idiotic things while he was?
He was a crazy rock star.
Yeah. Show me a rock star that didn't do crazy things. I mean, not all of them bit the heads off of bats, but as we all should know, he did that by accident.
Hey,
it's not his fault.
The other thing is, we talk to a lot of KISS fans that were there?
We did.
How many KISS fans said anything negative about Paul?
I don't think one of them said anything negative, actually.
No, everybody was pleasantly surprised. It was a really, and they were feeling it. All of them were feeling it on stage, because every so often they were going, "Hey, don't we sound good?" Like they were letting some stuff slip out of the bag. I think they were surprising themselves how good they sounded.
All right, my rant's over. I just felt the need to say that because that Roger Waters thing, it still bothers me.
I think
There's no point in it. The only reason why someone like Roger Waters puts that out there publicly is because he wants press to pick it up.
attention.
Right. And that's crossing the line to
It's
me, that's crossing
totally.
the line. And just in case there's any Roger Waters fans out there, or there's some keyboard warriors that said that Paul couldn't sing that night, it's the same, and Paul has done it. When they went on Howard Stern saying that if we bring Peter and Ace back, we have to change the name from Kiss to Piss.
And I don't forgive him for that.
It's the same kind of thing. If somebody was standing, if Gene Simmons would have leaned over and punched Paul in the mouth, the next time he would think about what he was going to say before he said it.